Hello, my name is Joe. I own the small business store, and welcome to the first installment of our daily marketing video. I'm hoping to put together a 10 to 15 minute video daily covering maybe not just marketing, but anything that has to do with running a small business, maybe finance, customer service, etc. Okay, so let's get to the topic at hand today. What I want to discuss is something that many small business owners don't put a lot of stock into, and that's their message. Now, you can go many directions. You can hit many topics regarding writing good copy or having a good message when you put out your advertising. But I really want to hone in on a very basic concept, which I've identified as vague claims versus defined services. Okay. Now, what I mean by that is when a business owner advertises, they want to tell customers and prospects everything that they do. Okay. Let's go with lawn care as our example industry. I mow, I landscape, I mulch, I trim trees, hedges, shrubs, we leaf blow, aerate, irrigation, etc. So there's a really nasty habit of wanting to not only throw all of that out at a potential customer all at once, but there's a nasty habit of wanting to come up with a slogan per se that is very generic or vague and makes a vague claim of what you're offering. We'll spruce up your yard. We'll take care of your yard for you. We'll make your lawn look great this year. Okay? And I'm not saying that's bad. But on the other hand, who's going to advertise, we might be able to do okay with your yard. We have to look at it first. Or we're pretty good at getting rid of weeds. Okay, so obviously nobody's going to say the opposite of that. They're going to say, we do this great, we do that great, we'll promise this, we'll make this claim. But they're all vague, okay? They don't explain how. So if I have a lawn care business and I'm trying to convince a prospect of why you should hire me, if I have a postcard, if I'm a lawn care guy and I have a postcard that's being mailed out to possible prospects, or I have a Facebook ad that's being seen by possible prospects, I have to believe that other lawn care owners in my area are doing this exact same thing. So my goal, how am I going to convince that prospect to hire me and not my competition? Am I going to just use the same vague claims that everybody else uses? And those were, like I said, we'll help you with your lawn, we'll save you time, we'll make your lawn beautiful. Whatever claim that you want to think or if you've used, that's what I mean by vague claim. You're not identifying for the prospect how you're going to do that. Now, obviously we're gearing up for the middle of the political season for a presidential election later this year. You wouldn't expect a voter to look at a politician and have the politician say, I'm going to create more jobs, and not have the voter say how. Okay? That's a vague claim. I'm going to improve the economy. I'm going to create more jobs. I'm going to, create world peace. How? How are you going to do that? That's really what the prospect wants to know. They've heard it all before. They've heard the vague claims. They want to know how you're going to do that. That is what's going to sell them on contacting you. Okay? So that moves us toward defined services. And you could even put defined products in there as well. Because obviously you're either selling a good or a service, a product or a service. If you have a discount, that would be a defined service. 50% off irrigation if you order by such and such a time. Okay? That is a fact that you can define that leaves no question to the consumer. You're not saying simply, we can do a good job putting in an irrigation service. You're saying, look, here's what I will do for you if you hire us to put in your irrigation equipment or to do your irrigation service. Okay? No contracts. Again, you're defining your service. You're defining your product. You're not just saying, hire us to mow your lawn this year and it'll look great. You're saying, hire us because we don't require you to sign a contract. Now, I'm not using examples saying you should use these examples with your business. It's neither here nor there with the actual examples. My point is that we're identifying specific services that you offer, or you could say specific reasons for someone to choose you as a company that's not an unspecified and it's not a vague claim. Okay? If I were putting together a mailer or a brochure for a company that was trying to sell their product or service, it's always fine to have a slogan with your logo. Okay? However, when you start relying simply on slogans to convince people to call you or email you or to hire you, you're missing the ball. People will not get excited about, and they will not necessarily respond at as a great rate as if you give them real reasons. And like I stated before, if you have a discount, if you have something special like a no contract policy, if you have a 100% guaranteed satisfaction policy, okay? These are the kind of things that people will respond to. Now, if there's always exceptions, if you are in an industry that's rather unique or that there's not a lot of competition for in your area, sometimes slogans work, okay? But we're always trying to find the best way to secure a prospect. So if you can avoid vague slogans and vague claims, then you should. And you should always try to look at your business and say, what is it that I offer? What services do I offer? What products do I offer? How can I better explain to my prospect what I do when I say that I'm going to mow your lawn? We don't scalp lawns. That's more of a defined service than a vague claim. I can say, I'll mow your lawn and it will look great, but what does that mean to a customer? We fix scalped lawns. That's a little more defined, okay? So always look at your products, look at your services, and really try to define and help the customer understand how you achieve these claims that you're making. If you're going to tell someone you're going to beautify their yard, how are you going to do that? Maybe you make a claim that says, we use state-of-the-art landscape software to help you visualize what your landscape's going to look like. Now, I understand there's a reason why there's slogans, because they're conceptually more concise and they can be said in 3 or 4 words. But once again, that's why you have a slogan. If you have a piece like a postcard or a mailer or a Facebook ad or the header to a website, there's no reason you can't hone down the message that I just gave you about having landscape software that you use to help your customer visualize what the finished product will look like before you even start. All you've got to do is sit down and say, okay, how can I put this into fewer terms but still explain that we let them see what it looks like before we ever stick the first shovel in the ground. Okay? I hope at this point you're getting the point that there's a difference between just vaguely claiming to a prospect that you will do X, Y, and Z for them versus actually explaining to them, this is how we do that, because that is where you're going to get the bulk of the interest and the bulk of the response from your prospect. Okay? I hope this helps. Maybe you have to go back, watch it again. I hope that I explained as best I could. Well, I tried to explain as best I could the difference between making a vague claim and giving someone actual defined services or products that you sell so that they can better understand why they should hire you as a company. Remember, whatever method of advertising or marketing that you're using, it hinges on your message. That's where you have to be great. Sometimes you have to try one message, go back to the drawing board, come up with another one, maybe tweak it. But this is a first step in looking for answering that question, what's in it for me, from the viewpoint of the prospect. Okay? I know this is episode 1. I got caught. I'm in my car, but I wanted to get something out to you today. I hope the next couple episodes will slowly see an evolution of a little more professionalism. But again, feel free to go into the comments section, ask any questions, say, hey, if you could discuss this topic, I'd sure like to hear your thoughts. And give me some feedback on what you think about today's topic. I'm not claiming to know everything, but I've been in business for 20 years in design, marketing, advertising, sales. I've been running small businesses for 30 years now. I'm simply trying to bring street smart, average Joe concepts to other small business owners to help give them maybe a better first foot or first step forward in trying to secure more customers. Okay? Check out the Small Business Store on Facebook, or you can visit at $5signs.com. That's the digit 5, DOLLARSIGNS.com, $5signs.com. Hopefully some of the products that I have, yard signs, banners, brochures, postcards, hopefully some of that pricing that I have there can benefit you, but also the approach that I take. We don't just do design, we do design with marketing in mind. So it's not just something pretty. We're trying to also take some of these concepts like I talked about today and incorporate that in the design to make sure we can communicate with customers why they should hire you. All right, today is Monday, January 6th. I will be back tomorrow, Tuesday, January 7th. Please, if you would, hit the subscribe button below this video. I really, really want to get up to around 1,500 or 2,000 subscribers. We'll probably have a few sponsors as well. But as this grows, I'm hoping that more and more feedback will contribute to the overall discussion to make sure that the topics that are being covered are going to be of benefit to you. Okay? Once again, I'm Joe at the Small Business Store. Hit the subscribe button below, and I will see you tomorrow.